All right, Olympic bronze medalist Helen Maroulis, dominant in your final match. How excited are you to be at this point?
I'm super excited. I'm very grateful. This is just so amazing, and any opportunity to wrestle on the Olympic stage. Obviously, we all know it comes like very few and far in between. So to get to do this again is a dream come true.
Was there I mean, just describe, maybe without just getting into all the ups and downs, but like how many, like, I feel great, am I gonna wrestle again? Okay, I'm back, I'm on the team. Okay, I'm down. Like, how many of those did you have from like basically 2017 world title to this point?
Like I was admitted into a mental hospital twice, once in 2018 and exactly 2 years ago on August 7th on my dad's birthday in 2019. And like literally I remember just being like I'm at like rock bottom. Like I never thought that I would wrestle again. I was really hoping to be healthy again. So to be here now and to be so healthy, so healed, and to just wrestle the way that I did, which is just what I wanted, right? Like, yeah, I wanted to win and dominate, but I really wanted to get that part of me back where I just loved wrestling and could just go out there and like just let it all go. So it's a dream come true.
I've heard you say in this conversations about how the mental health discussion is so important to you. What would be your message to those who might be struggling with that?
Yeah, mental health, I think that it's something that we should talk about, especially amongst athletes. I remember when I got out of the hospital and I was still getting treated at the Olympic Training Center, and I asked one of the doctors there, I said, am I like the worst case that you've ever seen? Because I just felt like a failure. And she said, no, you'd be surprised how many people have mental health issues. And I said, why aren't we talking about this? Why are we covering this up? Why are athletes pretending like this isn't happening? And really for me, I think it helps to talk about it when you know you're not alone, and when other people are struggling and you can share and there's resources. So I think if anything, these Olympics really have highlighted that topic of mental health, and I think that's really important.
Tough to kind of switch gears from there,
We can go on.
but I'll try. Thinking about your tournament, immediately watching your first two matches, to me and many wrestling fans, it looked like you were wrestling as well as you ever had, and then you had an incredible challenge against Hawaii. Assess your performance there, because as I watched it, it was like, man, I don't know what else you can really do. You weren't picking a spot. You tried to score the entire time. So kind of, how do you assess that?
Yeah, so just the match with Kauai.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I mean, really since Poland moved to Arizona and really started game planning with Mark, and really we worked on preparing for Kauai and Odinaya from Nigeria. So like day in, day out, I worked on this game plan. I had it set. I studied her. I studied so many matches, all these moves, everything. And then I just wasn't prepared for her game plan to change so drastically. I never thought in a million years that her game plan was going to be to just underhook to avoid the 2-on-1, but also to really not shoot. Like, that was very surprising to me. And so I mean, on the one hand, I felt like obviously my defense was great, her defense was great, and neither of us really got our offense going. But I felt like tactically I could have made more adjustments and been smarter. But I just like can't believe the adjustments that I made in the last 7 weeks. I feel like I transformed, you know, my mind, my heart, my body. I mean, I did everything in my power to be, you know, worthy on this stage, and I'm happy with the performance.
What went into the decision to pack up and go to Sunkist?
It wasn't a decision to move. Like, I really loved everything at the Disneyland Wrestling Club, but I went to Poland, and I had the MCL injury was still an issue, so I went to Poland with two objectives in mind. One, protect my knee at all costs, so that affected my wrestling. And two was, I hadn't done a tournament in like 4 years, and I needed to know, one, where I stood with the women. And after Poland, I realized I need to train with more women and bigger and stronger women. And Kayla, Miracle, and I had been talking about training together all summer. And then two, I needed more consistent strength training, and I wanted to do it in person. So at the time at NLWC, I was doing it remotely. And Kayla really liked her strength program. I saw the results for her. She's always tough to wrestle. So I moved out there, and Kayla and I, we just did the strength training together. We, trained together all the time, like really pushed each other. I mean, that made such a big difference. And Poland helped me to assess that and figure that out.
It's interesting with wrestling and the high level athletes. Every Worlds and Olympics, it's like, you know, there's a reflection, a career. Like, am I going to continue? Am I going to not? How much does how well you're wrestling right now make you want to continue a little bit longer?
I know. Like 3 days ago, I was like, I'm probably done after this, and I think that's why I wrestled so well. I just remember the night before the competition, I'm like, if this is my last tournament ever, I want to be proud of how I wrestled. I want to go out there and enjoy it. So I think that definitely helped. And then just being able to tap into like kind of my old mentality and just wrestle great. Like exactly, I'm like, I don't want to stop. I love it. Like I loved being on the mat. I loved it. It was such an amazing feeling.
You know, I'm probing for the future. I know you probably don't want to talk about it. You should definitely enjoy this, but man, you're on the team. So are you thinking Norway?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I am. Well, I was gonna say I'll take it day by day, but as of right now, yes, I'm committed.
Wonderful. How encouraging is it you changed weights from your Olympic weight? You went up 4 kilos, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much more enjoyable was it without the cut, without all that stuff?
So much more enjoyable. It was way better. I mean, I think I guess I exchanged a miserable weight cut for like miserable injuries being played with, but still not having to cut weight and being able to just eat and enjoy life, makes it way better.
Yeah, and is that just extra encouragement? It's like, I didn't need to be, not that 53 wasn't the right way for you, but
Yeah.
I don't have to do that to beat the best. You can clearly beat Kawhi.
Yeah. No, I remember when I wrestled in Poland, I felt like so frail, and I felt like the girls just seemed to be so much bigger than me. And even the Ukrainian girl that I wrestled the second match, she beat me 8-2 in Poland, and she like ragdolled me. I mean, everyone I wrestled that day did. So I was like, man, I was thinking, am I not big enough for the weight class? And just, moved to Arizona and did this training program with Northwest One and did everything in my power to get big. And when I got to weigh-ins here in Tokyo, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, like no one's bigger than me. Like I don't feel scrawny, or I don't feel too small for the weight. So it's a good fit.
So one thing I've heard you kind of refer to is sort of some of the self-doubt and this questioning you have, and I think for most people, for me, I think this is one of the most accomplished wrestlers ever, certainly one of the best in United States history. How do you explain that Helen Maroulis has doubts and frequently?
God, I wish I could explain it to myself so I could figure it out and fix it and never have to deal with it ever again. But no, in Rio, I remember I really thought like I wasn't gonna make weight, and that scared me the most because I didn't want to take the spot from someone else, and that was my biggest fear. And then actually, kind of here, one of the things I haven't accomplished yet that I would like to is a team gold, and I felt like we had the team to do it. I feel like we still have the team to do it. And I really felt like, oh my gosh, everyone looks amazing. I feel like we might get 5 golds, and I don't want to be the person on the team that like doesn't get it done or doesn't do a good job. So that was actually like a really big fear this time around. And dealing with doubts, I think you just know yourself as a person, and when you know yourself, you'll figure out, okay, I guess how to address it, right? So I know I have people that I talk to, I have mentors. I know when I'm like, sometimes I gotta talk to myself and just take a chill pill or whatever.
You've been making teams for a very long time. The level of success for the team is just improving every single year, it seems. Contrast this team, how well they're doing. We got Sarah yet to go, to maybe, I guess, 2014. Maybe go back there.
Well, in 2014, I was younger, and we still had we had a lot of great women that I looked up to. This team, there's such a special bond. I think really because I'm older than most, except for Adeline, but we've all kind of come up together, and I think everyone's had very unique struggles and adversity to overcome, and everyone kind of came to it on their own. And I think we've like all just fought our way to get here together. So it's special. You can see the level of wrestling improve. I mean, in 2014, I think Sarah, Jakara, and Kayla and I were all in the same weight class, and they're some beasts right now. Like Sarah, even at 50 kilos, is freaking tough to wrestle. When man, like she's not easy to score on at all. So it's just so cool to like just grow with everyone.
Well, really appreciate your time, Helen. Congratulations. Enjoy the win. You made USA proud.
Thanks.